Let me make another video about restaurants. So I recently made a video like 30 seconds ago talking about how I'm just over restaurants. I'm not excited about them, and it almost kind of seems like it's just gross that other people managing my food and I don't really know what I'm eating. I'm paying a lot more money for it and all this stuff. But here's the sequel. Is it also, it kind of feels like restaurants attract a victim mentality crowd. Like they're looking for something to go wrong at that restaurant, that the server isn't good enough. And you know, it's built into that mentality that I'm paying all this money for this meal, and if my server doesn't bring me my drink in time or my bread in time or whatever it is, they weren't nice enough to me, or they didn't smile at me and wink at me when they took my order, whatever silly thing it is, then the customer can look at that. Let me go on Facebook or whatever it is and give them a bad review and say how I was treated poorly by them, or I ordered a steak and it wasn't medium well like it was supposed to be. Whatever thing it was, we had to wait too long for our food. I just feel that right now that we're in a situation where people are that much more victim mentality minded when it comes to restaurants, to the servers, to the food. And by default, people like that are being attracted to restaurants. And here's me as a red pill person, here's what I'm thinking. See, why do I not like restaurants? Because I like being in control. When I make my own food and buy my own food, I know what's in it. I control that time while I eat. But if you go to a restaurant regularly, well, it's more of a blue pill situation where you're casting your hope and happiness on other people. So if it's not right, then you're victimized and I deserve better. And then you complain about people being paid minimum wage to do their job at a restaurant. But even the fact of the silly tradition of tipping here in the United States, that legally the government says, okay, that restaurants pay their employees like what, $2 an hour, and as long as they'll make up the rest in tips. So restaurant owners are allowed to pay like their servers, for example, $2 an hour, whatever it is, very low amount of money. I used to be a server back in college, so I know. And so ultimately that causes the customers to have to do a math equation at the end of the meal to think, well, how good were they? Were they 18% of the bill good? Or the 20? Were they 22%? And now, you know, with the computers, it actually tells you if you thought they were 22% good, then you tip them this. But ultimately, if you're putting people in a situation where they have to judge someone's character, the server's character, then automatically the person has become more victim mentality about it and look for something to be wrong. Otherwise, they don't deserve as good of a tip. So that's just not my style. That's not my energy. I would rather have a more positive energy. And I think what restaurants have become is just something that doesn't match where I'm at in life. Can anybody agree with me? Comments belong right here.